time. These magazines wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. But the attention, I'm on a mission. Cause ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Pay attention, I'm on a mission. I'm there with a vision. Got a passion, making it happen. Ready for action. And this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. This is my world now. Hey! Here we go! We coming ready or not, you better steady yourself, because we're raising some hell. There's nothing keeping this roof from blowing on. We're taking over the town, hit the switch and shut it down. Like India, we're electric, never stop. We coming ready or not, we coming ready or not. We're giving all that we got, we're giving all that we got. We're coming ready or not. We're throwing gas on the fire, the strategy
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Welcome back to coverage of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series playoffs. We have reached the final round in the opening round of 12 to see who will advance in the round of 8. We're at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, and we welcome you to coverage here tonight for 200 miles of great racing action. I'm Wesley Outland. Terry Radford lost his voice at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Boy, you better learn how to handle keeping those vocals, especially if you want to be a longtime broadcaster in this business. Cody Deemers will be filling in for me tonight. Of course, he does a lot of producing with some of our iRacing coverage. Of course, filling in for Terry is what I meant to say. So, Cody, we're ready to go here at Homestead-Miami. Charles Wooten is in the production box, and, well, the playoffs, this is the last round in the round of 12. If you're a driver on the outside looking in, you better find a way to either rack up as many positions as you can to advance for points, or look for a win if you're one of the playoff drivers to move into the next round.
Yeah, man, I appreciate Charles letting me come in here and do this. Last time I done this was with the Fun Series at VIR, and I had a blast doing that with Wesley. And back here again at Homestead-Miami Speedway, beautiful racetrack, amazing racetrack, always puts on really good racing. I've been producing a lot with for these guys, and they put on one heck of a show. If you've never seen a truck race with the Northwest Truck Series, even the Xfinity guys at Talladega put on one heck of a race. But we're here for some good hard racing, and we're ready to call it with you, Wesley.
Yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. Let's take a look real quickly at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions to get you ready to go. Air temperature at 79, partly cloudy sky, sun beaming above the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway right now. Wind speed at 9 miles an hour. Track temp is not at 100 degrees in triple digits, but it is up there at 94 under, again, partly cloudy conditions. Again, ready to see what these drivers are going to go do as we get ready for on-track activity in a few moments with qualifying. Looking at the point standings going into this race, obviously, as we mentioned, if you're on the outside looking in on the ups and ups, you better find a way to make a drive. Right now, Kevin Smith, winner last week, obviously, at the Milwaukee Mile, picked up his third win of the year. 7 top 5s, 11 top 10s. He currently is a man with a 2-point lead over, of course, Ryan Bloom, Win Racing teammates. Then you've got Dan West Jr., 10 points back in third. And then Devin West, obviously, right there, along with Dennis Moore, your top 5. If you're one of these drivers, of course, trying to advance in the round of 8, no doubt about it, Cody. If you're John Ottenbacher, Dan Lowther, Christopher White, or Stephen O'Hare, somehow, some way, you are going to try to find a valiant effort to be made to try to get into those 8 spots in the points before the night ends.
Yeah, man. A lot of these guys, like you said, a lot of these drivers looking in, going into the night. Dan Lowther, really good guy, working hard to get a win here in the Northwest Truck Series, and going into the night, he's got a good shot at getting a win here at Homestead, with it being a multiple groove racing track here at Homestead.
Yeah, precision banking will be the word that comes to mind several times here tonight when they race around Homestead-Miami Speedway, and that means multiple grooves will be used for these drivers to find their way, opportunity to weasel around this 1.5-mile speedway to get the positions needed. Obviously, in the playoffs, this is round number 24. Round 25 of the season, correction. And again, the final race in the round of 12. 8 drivers will be moving into that next round of the semifinals in the playoffs after tonight's events here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. As we mentioned, obviously, we mentioned your top 5. And then you've got Sean Brightsman 6th. Jeff Stabnow is 7th. Toby Ritters is 8th right now. Of course, he would be the final driver if the race was to end tonight right now that would transfer in to the next round of the playoffs. But again, we'll see how it all shakes out tonight here with the drivers here at the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. And obviously, I mentioned Kevin Smith, Cody, and that guy is really just ever since what problems he had in the early part of the season with technical woes, when he's on it, he's on it. I mean, last week dominated, of course, there to win at Homestead-Miami, and of course, or win at Milwaukee Mile, here tonight at Homestead-Miami. He's one of those drivers that he doesn't have to worry about, whatever happens tonight, because he's got to win, and he can just go out here and race and be competitive and look for another W.
Yeah, man. Kevin Smith's been one of my favorites since I been viewing the Northwest Truck Series, and he's become one of my favorites because he always either has a really good race like he did at Milwaukee last week, or he has a race where he struggles a lot. And part of racing, that's what it comes. But yeah, Kevin Smith, really good driver, really good competitor. Goes on the track each and every week, runs up front, just a pretty good showing tonight, and going out here looking for a W, and that's about all he can ask for.
We're live on LSRTV via our YouTube broadcast channel and on Facebook, and of course on the Community Radio Network, and we are CRN.com worldwide, anywhere in 87.9 FM in the North Carolina, Raleigh, Johnston County area. As right now I hear a rumble of some trucks, the throaty rumble of virtual engines come to life, and that means only one thing: it's time to go to qualifying. And right out of the gate, what do you know? The number 1 seed winner last week at Milwaukee Mile. Here comes Kevin Smith, ready to see what he'll do here in qualifying. The driver out of Walla Walla, Washington. And whoa, this is not good for Smith. He's struggling here at Homestead in the early going of qualifying.
Yeah, you're going to see him come off a turn 4 there. Got a little loose there. Just got to get some heat in the tires, Wesley, here. I do a little bit of racing, iRacing myself, and especially with Homestead and these trucks, you got to get heat in the tires. You're going to see that. These guys on their opening lap running right up against the wall, with the top side being the place to be. Down the long back stretch here at Homestead in the 3 and 4, going to be right up against the wall. The bottom is, you're going to see a lot of these guys using the bottom to pass. You're not going to see a lot of these guys on the bottom trying to race. You're going to see them on the top side, as you see Dan West here on track and coming around to complete his lap for qualifying.
Charles, if you could bring down the ambient noise just a little bit. I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing Cody as right now qualifying, rolling on here with the trucks. Dan West Jr. on Speedway now from Shelton, Washington. the 55. Obviously, another one of those drivers that's the number 3 seed in qualifying on the course right now. We'll see what kind of a lap he puts down. Obviously, the Effective Web Solutions 55 Chevrolet for Team LSRTV works his way off of turn 4 down to the start-finish line, and we'll see where he racks up in the top 5, 33.091. But Cody, he's got one more shot at it.
Yeah, man, he's gonna. Like I said earlier, you're gonna see him running the top side most of the time, but using the bottom, trying to see if there's any grip down there, trying to see if he can pick up any speed and get ahead of Dennis Moore here. And Wesley, he's looking like he's gonna run right on that white line, and you're gonna see him get a little loose off of 4, trying to run up, trying to get some speed as he comes around to complete his final lap here.
Coming across the line now, we'll see where he'll end up, and he will stay with a lock on 4th. Of course, picking it up there. Let's see what Kevin Smith can do again now. Right now, Dennis Moore, by the way, his Chevrolet at the top of the board. 32.834 seconds, 32.925 for Dylan Huffines. Good to see Dilly back in the house. He hasn't ran very much with the Northwest this year. Good to see him make a return in his Chevrolet. Chevrolet Ryan Bloom, second in the points, now just moved up to 3rd on track, 32.964. Dan West Jr. again 4th. Dan Lowther, as you mentioned, having a pretty good solid run right now in qualifying top 5. And Kevin Smith able to at least now put a lap together, 41.394, 41.394. Right now, good enough for 12th. He's going to have to pick up speed.
Yeah, and talking about Dan Lowther, Wesley, I know this is a truck series, but Xfinity Series race, Dan Lowther almost come up half of an inch short of winning the Xfinity race this past Wednesday at Talladega. So he's definitely looking to come out here in the truck series and get him a win, as we see Jeff Stabnow, Team LSRTV, on track now for his qualifying.
Yeah, that was a crazy race at Talladega last Wednesday night for sure. Jeff Stabnow, Billings, Montana, number 24. His Ford works across the line. Jeff Stabnow on the clock. Right now, we'll see what lap he puts on as he just took the green flag. Team LSRTV Ford. Dennis Moore, obviously the man still at the top of the board. You see the visors on the top of the windows of the windshields of the trucks, and they are the special CLICKIT RV playoff stickers. Those are your drivers that remain in the playoffs. And right now, we'll see Stabnow loose off the exit of 4. Holds it together down to the line. White flag in the air on his second qualifying lap. His first lap will be good enough for 13th. 33.586. He has got to pick it up now. Sean Breitzman, by the way, just cracked the top 12. He was 11th. And here comes Carl Burke on the course.
Yeah, Carl Burke, somebody I don't really know much about, but he's going to come across the line. 33.481, good enough. I believe that's going to put him 13th. You see him going down
with the legend.
You see him going down the back stretch. He's coming around, I believe it complete his 3rd and final lap here, Wesley.
Yeah, 2 laps, green-white checker is what they get. As right now, Carl Burke comes down to the line. 14th on lap 1. Will he end up on lap number 2? He'll stay at 14th, 33.901, 33.901 last lap, 33.481. His first lap will hold his best time. Working off the corner.
Yeah.
Here comes the, if you will, next qualifier on the track, if we can show him. It looks like that truck is going to peel down onto the pit lane. And any other takers to qualify. If not, Dennis Moore will lock up another pole, man. 32.834, Cody Deemers, when it's all said and done. We're still waiting to see if Ray Fournier or B.J. Tidrick or Stephen Paulison, Tyler Kim or Troy Daggett of those 5 drivers will come out here to make a lap. But right now, it looks like they are not. And they need to make a decision here in the next minute or two, or the clock's going to tick down to 0, and the field will grid for the race.
Yeah, and I want to point out to the audience as well, not if you don't know much about Homestead, very racy racetrack. You're going to see these guys, 2, maybe even 3 wide. Wesley, I've seen these trucks here 4 wide. And it's going to be a very intense, crazy race. You're probably going to see them start out where, they're going to be kind of single file running the top. You're going to see a few guys on the bottom, and it can't be no crazier, Wesley, than Talladega. But you never know. You never know what you'll see when it comes to Homestead.
By the way, don't forget to join LSRTV each week as we bring you some of the best racing leagues on iRacing. For more information, you can check out the website online for a broadcast schedule at livesimracingtv.com. Again, Cody Deemers is filling in for Terry Radford. I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten in the production box. LSRTV CRN's coverage of the playoffs. Round 25 tonight at the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. And again, when tonight is at night's end, we will find out who will be the 8 drivers that will advance to the semifinals in the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV playoffs. And again, right now, if you're a driver on the outside looking in, as we said in introductions, Cody Deemers, if you're Odenbacher, Dan Lowther, Christopher White, Stephen O'Hare, you've got to step up and make a move. And obviously, I believe Christopher White is automatically eliminated because he missed a race last week, and I'm understanding that he has schedule change with his real-life work makes it where he can't run on Monday nights anymore. So you automatically know that the number 12 seed will end up being, Christopher White out. And Stephen O'Hare, he's not here either, so that's another driver that obviously – will be eliminated. So that takes out 2 spots right now. So if your driver's on the bubble, you got to really be aggressive here to make things happen.
Yeah, and Wesley, talking about Christopher White, he won at Indianapolis, and I believe that's how he got locked into the playoffs, is by his win at Indianapolis with the Truck Series. And so tough break for him as he drove his butt off at that race to get into the playoffs, and tough break, he can't make it. And yeah, Stephen O'Hare, another really good driver.
All right, we're ready to go tonight at Homestead-Miami, and here's your starting lineup. On the pole, fast qualifier, Dennis Moore in the 44. To his outside will be Kevin Smith in the 00, the man leading the points. Row 2, Dylan Huffines and Ryan Bloom, who is second in the point standings. Row number 3 will find Dan West Jr., who is third in the points, and the number 8 seed on the bubble is Toby Ritters Clifford. He'll start 6th. Row number 4, Dan Lowther and Devin West need to have a good solid run to advance to the next round. Row 5 will find Sean Breitzman, and Jeff Stabnow needs a good run to advance into the next round as well. There's your top 10.
Yeah, row number 6 is going to look to the Frank Cairns driving that number 11. To his outside is going to be Brett A. Johnson in the number 7. Row 7 is going to be the Catman, James Bynum, and to his outside is going to be the Carl Burke machine. Row 8 is going to be John Ottenbacher, and then Stephen Bartlett to his outside. Row 9 is going to be the 20, driving on the inside, Chris Kynes, and then Dana Rogers on the outside in the 07. Row 10 is going to be Stephen Paulison and B.J. Chidwick. Row 11 is going to be Troy Daggett. He got a good run at Talladega, looking for a good run here in the trucks. To his outside is going to be Rafe Foreigner. And then rounding out the final truck on the field, Tyler Kim in the 38.
So there's the starting lineup as the field is making their parade lap behind the iRacing pace car. 201 miles, 134 laps will be the distance for tonight's event. Team LSRTV way back to row 3 as Wynn Racing is on the front row with Dennis Moore and Kevin Smith, the boss man, alongside. Ready to see how it all shakes out. Dylan Huffine's going to see the Hyperco truck. Thomas Builders Chevrolet back in the field for Dylan Huffines. And we got some new names ready to roll here as the field gets ready to come to the line. 134 laps, the round of 12 finale underway at Homestead-Miami. You got a virtual race, and we send them off at full song. You feel the roar at Homestead. Field comes down to the line, opening lap, and we got trouble. Problems. Tyler Kim into the inside, safer barrier. Scampers back up the racing groove below the flag stand. Gets on rolling. I don't think we'll see a caution just yet as the leaders work off of turn 2.
Yes, we see, I believe that is the 25 of Ryan Bloom. It looks to the inside of the 6 of Dylan Huffness. Here comes Team LSRTV. That is Devin West in the number 5 machine as he's working on the 6. And then Toby Ritter's to his inside. Oh,
Jeff Stabnow
Toby
into
Ritter.
Ritter's. Problems, front stretch. Sean Brightsman almost got clipped. Everyone else on the winders to miss him. Tindrick getting just up to the safer barrier to miss Ritter's, and the caution will come out for now the first time here on the early going of lap number 1.
We're looking
Here's
at
a look at it.
here.
Stabnow
like
already up high was Stabnow, and then all of a sudden he got into the wall. Man, nowhere for Clifford to go after Stabnow got into the safer barrier, Cody Deemers, and just made contact with the right rear of the 23.
Yeah, and if we could possibly get on board with Dan Lowther, looking at his cockpit view, I know he had an interesting view being right behind these guys going down the front stretch. Did you look here on board with him? It's going to happen right in front of him. Going to see Jeff Stabnow up high, and the 24 machine got to get hard into the wall and come right down, and whoa, hard on the binders by Dan Lowther.
Man, what a save there for the 63, and I believe Sean Brightsman was able to scamper away from that as well. He about got tagged. He'll stay in the top 10, the 46 will. Man, this is not good for a couple of playoff drivers, obviously. Number 7 seed Jeff Stabnow and number 8 seed Toby Ritter's having problems here on the opening go at Homestead-Miami.
Yes, we see a couple of drivers, looks like coming down pit road. Not sure who that is. Looks like, I'm sure Clifford's one of them. John Ottenbacher and a few others. Troy Daggett. All of them coming down pit road very early on in the race at Wesley. Got to wonder what they're going to get here.
I'm probably going to look at seeing if they can either try to fix some of the damage without having to take a fast repair or taking on tires and fuel, obviously. We'll see how all this goes now for Toby Ritter's. Looks like right now he's on pit road. And I think he's on the damage clock right now, actually trying to fix some of the damage on pit road besides taking a fast repair to get back out there.
Yeah, you see the damage clock. You actually seen it. Yeah, the good thing with iRacing is you get it's an instant pop with a fast repair, but it doesn't look like he's taking that. Looks like he's going to get on the damage clock. The team's going to come out, fix the damage on that left front. He's going to go back out and pull off and regrade to the back of the field.
So an early caution here to start things off now, working lap number 5. By the way, Virginia811.com reminding you to dig with care. Call before you dig, and there are the caution information summary. Right now, 1 caution in this race with 2 caution laps now. No lead changes as obviously Dennis Moore quickly out in front on Kevin Smith and company. And of course, again, we'll try to see how things shake up as the lights go off on the pace car. We'll get the 1-to-go indication, Cody Deemers, and we'll try to go back to green this time by.
Yeah, you know, it's cool. You got a team Win Racing, team LSRTV, and I believe Win Racing Wesley is top the 1st, 2nd, and 4th truck right now. And then you got LSRTV and sitting there in 3rd. So definitely a strong showing here for Team Win Racing.
Lights off on the pace car as we'll get ready to bring us back to green flag with Dennis Moore. Win Racing bomb speed entries up on the front row with Dennis Moore and Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith, obviously, the number 1 seed after winning at the Milwaukee Mile last Monday night. Carrying all that momentum. Dan West Jr. now up there alongside with Ryan Bloom. Dylan Huffines currently right now the top 5 as the field will get bunched back up 2 by 2 by 2 beside one another in their rainbow of colors. They were at the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. Get ready to watch the iRacing pace car. Peel on and duck onto pit lane. They'll make the hard left. Back to the Geico restart zone they go. Dennis Moore, the leader, on the gas first. He sails away from Smith and company. He'll duck in line behind Moore, and they'll funnel back out to turn 1.
Yeah, Dennis Moore with a great start right there coming to the green. And Kevin Smith, teammate, going to look like he's going to right in behind him, try to pick up his teammate Ryan Bloom. Team LSRTV on the bottom. That's Bailey, that's Dan West Jr. and that 55 on the bottom machine, looking underneath the 25 of Ryan Bloom. That's for third as they work off into 3 and 4 back down the front stretch.
Whoa, hold on there, Devin. Devin West got a little loose there for a moment. Dan West Jr. will pull up in front of him. Now Dan up high. Stab now, way up high now as he'll work his way to try to get into the top 10 again. 7th and 8th, he got involved in an accident with Toby Ritters. Ritters is back in the 15th position, and the leaders work their way again into turn number 3.
And Wesley, I talked about it earlier, about how everybody would be running the top side. Not seeing too many guys run the top side. Looks like early on, everybody trying to get, in position, trying to get to the front. And everybody running kind of the bottom. You've got a couple guys on the outside. And I'm very surprised that not everybody's kind of single filed up high here.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. Watching all of this shakedown as they work their way down the back straightaway here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. There goes Ryan Bloom down to the inside. He'll make that run on Dan West Jr. Kevin Smith will follow in tow. Now he'll drop to the bottom of the flat. They work their way again off the corner here out of turn 4.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. on the outside, Ryan Bloom on the bottom. That's Team LSRTV versus Team Win Racing as they work off into 1. Ryan Bloom in the 25 on the bottom, but here comes Devin West in the 5. Team LSRTV trying to battle here and get around the 25 of Ryan Bloom as they work 2. Looks like Dan West Jr. just got in the outside wall there off of 2. I'm not sure, though.
Back straightaway, going back into the corner. Dennis Moore, Kevin Smith, Devin West. Now behind Ryan Bloom. Dan West Jr., your top 3. They work their way off the corner. Sean Brightsman trying to make a run now. All this going on as they're all single file again back around the racetrack. Caution in the early going. But obviously this is a racetrack, William, that we will definitely see cautions, but there is also the opportunity, Cody Deemers, where literally we will see long green flag runs, and those stretches in the race could possibly also alter the possibility of green flag pit stops if that arises as well here in the early going.
Yeah, I'm sure the early on caution was just everybody trying to get their feet wet, trying to get their a couple laps under the belt, trying to get moving up to the front. And now I'm sure everybody's going to be kind of pacing themselves, relaxing, saving tires. Not sure what the fuel window is with these guys. Couldn't be but about 40, 50 laps. And you're going to see a couple guys trying to get around each other. But that early on caution was just kind of everybody getting their feet wet, I'm sure of. Yeah,
just still very in the early going of this race right now as we watch the leaders working their way again off the corner. There's Jeff Stab now up on the high side. Just will open up the door for Dylan Huffines on the bottom. This is the battle for 6th position as they're right there, stride for stride. Brightsman watches on, and that goes on into turn number 1.
Yeah, you got Huffness on the bottom. And I hope I'm saying his name right, Huffness. And then you got Stab now on the outside.
Huffines, Dylan Huffines.
Huffines on the bottom, excuse me. The Brightsman trying to follow Stab now and get around the 6 on the outside as well, working into 3.
Huffines in that Hyperco Thomas Builders entry, working now a little loose as he works off of turn 4. Sean Brightsman gives him a little punt there to help him get straight back again. Got him straightened back out. Now he'll battle alongside Brightsman wheel to take that spot for looking for 6th, 7th now as they work into corner number 1.
Yeah, Brightsman going to look to the bottom and get under and make the pass. Move him up to 7th. Huffness back to 8th as they work down the backstretch. Looks like behind them, Dan Lowther and Carl Burke battling for the 9th and 10th position. Good showing here for Dan Lowther. He's going to get around Carl Burke for the 9th position.
Working off turn 4, back down to the line. We'll pick up Dennis Moore now. He's your leader. Currently out in front in truck 44. There he is. And the reason why I say that is because his teammate and the boss of Win Racing, Kevin Smith, right there in the crosshairs, just about a quarter second off of the tailgate of the 44 of Dennis Moore. They'll dive off into turn number 3. Dan West Jr. now up to that 3rd spot. And watching them now all work their way off the corner. By the way, that is currently 1st, third and fifth in the points on track right now. Watching Dennis Moore again lead the cavalry here. Dennis Moore has really got good, especially at the right time in the playoffs, Cody.
Yeah, and you know, there's never really a wrong time in the playoffs to get good because, you know, the more you can gain, the better off you'll be. And he's showing it why he's, you know, third of the points right now. And Kevin Smith showing why he's first in the points as they're, you know, 1 and 2 right now. And then you got Dan West Jr. and Ryan Bloom. I believe that's third and about 6th in the points, about right behind them.
Dennis Moore down that back straightaway, about a truck length back on Smith. Dan West Jr. third, 1, 2, and 3, all single file as that goes on back into the corner. We got problems back straightaway. Oh no, Dan Lowther up against the inside pit lane wall. No caution. He's down below the racing groove. We will stay on a green flag.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure what happened with him. He just made the pass on Carl Burke for the 9th position, so I'm not sure if he, you know, burned his tires up early going there and just kind of got loose up off the corner and tried to save it. Was really loose on the backstretch, or maybe him and Carl Burke got into it. And Stephen Paulson and Troy Daggett right there with him, Carl Burke, in the 9th, 10th, and 11th position.
Tenth place, Carl Burke up high. Precision banking. Remember, we mentioned it, 3 lanes. You see it now being used as Burke's up on the top, Paulison in the middle, and Ritters a moment ago was down on the bottom of the flat of the apron. Working around this racetrack, they are brave enough. You can see 3 or 4 wide. But right now, everyone stays back single file, trying to find the right lane down the back straightaway.
Yes, we see Carl Burke still trying to get around Stephen Paulson. Carl Burke looks like he's just trying to, you know, save tire running the high side where, you know, you want to save tire, the high side is where you want to be. The bottom is more your burn your tires up, try to get to the front, try to make the pass. Mentioned earlier, you know, you're going to see a lot of these guys making the passes on the bottom, trying to run on the outside. You know, you have the momentum on the outside, but outside is going to save you so much more tire than what you're going to see these guys that are running down low. So just sure that's what Carl Burke's doing, is running to the, you know, just running the outside, trying to save tire here. If we look behind him with the, for the 13th and 14th with PJ Chidrick.
"20 laps this time by, and they work at the line. Now massive cloud cover over the racetrack here at Homestead-Miami. Looks like it's starting to get a little dark, if you will. Cody, there's no lights right now. The track does have lights at night for night racing, but it is still daytime conditions as we're high above your aerial coverage presented by LiveSimRacingTV.com. As all of this goes on into turn number 3, we watch this go on with Paulison, Daggett, Ritters. This is 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah, and I want to give props to Ritters, man. Got turned early on, 5 laps into the race. Just a little racing with him and Stab now. And he has worked his way back up to 11th, Wesley. He is running the bottom and didn't take any tires. As he's working here, you see him working on Paulison for the 10th position. And just want to give a good prop to him to make a great comeback as he's working on the 10th position down the backstretch. But Stephen Paulson not making it easy for him as he's getting further through the field.
Paulison up high. Tidrick will follow that move. Now Troy Daggett will do the same thing in the 99. This opens up the door for Ritters now as he works his way down at the bottom of the racetrack, trying to close in on the 99. 58 battles alongside out of 2.
Yeah, Ritters on the bottom. Troy Daggett, I don't know which way to go. He said he's just going to hold the middle, and here comes Ritters to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide. Oh, man, Daggett not going to give Ritters no room on the bottom.
Back off of 4, back at speed at the start-finish line, and now you see Daggett on the bottom. This Ritters now on the outside. Here comes Toby, trying to get a run now to try to put himself in the top 10. He can get around Daggett. He'll do that. Had some problems on the start of the race in the opening laps with him and Jeff Stabnow. By the way, Jeff Stabnow up in front of this battle in 7th. Ritters clears Daggett on the outside. He's got the run now. He's got help by Tindrick as they work out of 4.
Yeah, Tindrick gonna get really loose though up off the corner, trying to still get around Daggett for the 11th and 12th position, and he's gonna do just that off down the front stretch off into 1. But here comes Daggett. Daggett back down to the inside, trying to use that bottom. Remember, I said earlier, gonna have to pass on the bottom. The outside is gonna be tough to do, but you can do it. As we see, looks like Daggett just gonna tuck in behind BJ Tindrick and ride right there for a little bit.
Working lap number 25, this time by 134 laps, 201 miles the distance here in the finale for the round of 12 playoffs. Who's advanced into the round of 8? Right now, Dan West Jr. battles alongside Kevin Smith. This is for 2nd. This is side by side as they mark off 2.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. on the bottom. Kevin Smith on the outside. They're going to touch a little bit there off of 2. Down the backstretch, Ryan Bloom right there behind them, waiting for one of these guys to slip up, make a mistake, and he capitalizes on it as they work off into 3. Here comes Devin West. Team LSRTV on the bottom. Then you got Wind Racing on the outside, Wesley. Devin West is going to give Ryan Bloom a shot off into 3.
Devin West giving a punt there to the Wind Racing 25 of Bloom. Bloom now trying to reel back in Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith trying to reel back in Dan West Jr. All this going on now as they work their way back into the corner. Now Devin West way out of line, way to the top, safer barrier, trying to find something work. He'll close into the trucks at the bottom out of the corner.
Yeah, and you've seen Ryan Bloom, and here comes Devin West. Ryan Bloom playing block for Wind Racing here, looks like. Almost trying to get around Kevin Smith on the bottom. And then Devin West trying to go to the bottom as well. Then Ryan Bloom goes to the bottom. Devin West goes back to the outside. Looks like a dirt track race here, Wesley.
Yeah, definitely a lot of slicing and dicing and chopping going on now, throwing blocks on one another as all this is working on back into the corner. And right now, again, Ryan Bloom back to the inside. Kevin Smith goes up high. Devin West will follow and weasel in to make a move to the bottom in front of Brightsman. Down to the inside for the crossover. And they hold it together as they hit the back straightaway. What a move as they go into 3. Now Bloom under attack by Devin West in the corner.
Yeah, Devin West with a move down the back straightaway to get around Kevin Smith. But here comes Kevin Smith really loose up off the corner, trying to power on the outside of Devin West. But here comes Brightsman. Brightsman on the bottom of Kevin Smith as they work down into 1, side by side, door handle to door handle. What a race we have here, Wesley.
Closing in on lap number 30. Top 5 right now is Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr., Ryan Bloom, Devin West, Sean Brightsman. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification. This is coverage of the Northwest playoffs on CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Working lap number 30 in a few laps, 29 of 134 completed. Cody Deemers, I'm Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten in the production box. Round number 25 of the season. The final race in the round of 12 rolls on at the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. Dennis Moore is leading, Dan West Jr. second, Ryan Bloom is third, and behind them, the battle for the top between 3 trucks. Cody back to turn 1. That's Devin West, Sean Brightsman, and Kevin Smith in the corner.
Yeah, we've seen Devin West make a crazy move to get around Kevin Smith. And Brightsman, as he's looking to go underneath Devin West, that is for the 4th position, as down off of 2, down the backstretch. Here it comes alongside of him. Try to use the momentum. Devin West going to try to use the momentum on the outside, try to hang on to it. But here comes Brightsman down to the bottom in 3.
Another daring move by Sean Brightsman again, down to the bottom of the Brights Boutique, till number 46. Trucks down at the bottom of the apron. Looks like we got one pilling onto the pit lane, or at least he's down to the bottom of the racetrack. Dan Lowther makes an unscheduled pit stop. This is his time to come in on lap number 30. Obviously, damage from the truck for the 1-5 Studios entry earlier on the back stretch where no yellow flag was thrown, Cody. And you see he just took a fast repair, giving on the 63 as he makes a pit stop. And now Carl Burke is in as well.
Yeah, it looks like Lowther's going to try to take either 2 right side tires or even go with 4 tires, as I'm sure he's got a flat spot We see Carl Burke here. He's coming down the pit road. Looks like he's going for 4 tires as well. I said earlier about 40 to 50 laps, but it looks like about 35 laps to 40 laps, Wesley, is going to be the pit window for these guys.
Coming up on a century grind, remaining 100 laps to go. Now there's a battle going on for the top 10. Paulison now puts his mustard momentum on the machine of Ritters. Ritters will battle back on the outside. They're stride for stride down the back straightaway. Ritters gets the clear as they work into 3.
Yeah, Toby Ritters, we've seen him get, like I said earlier, we've seen him get in that late caution. He's worked his way up to 9th, but he's got a hard charger and 58 machine of Stephen Paulison trying to get around him on the outside as you see him work on before here. Paulison going to try to use the momentum, try to use the draft, try to get back to the back bumper of that number Clifford machine.
Clifford waiting patiently up the outside. That is Toby Ritter's truck now opening the door to the inside for Stephen Paulison, giving him plenty of racing room as they hit the back straightaway. 100 laps to go when they hit the start-finish line. This time by, it's all Win Racing, Dennis Moore, Ryan Bloom, 1 and 2 on lap 34 completed.
Yeah, and you see Ryan Bloom here and Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr. in the Team LSRTV in the 55. Ryan Bloom in that blue number 26 machine, 25 machine, excuse me. And Wesley, these guys are not done yet. They're still duking it out. You got Win Racing, Team LSRTV, and they're no shame to side-by-side racing as they work off into 3. And then you got Dan Lowther, a lap car in the mix.
Yeah, all of this great racing going on and continues again as they work their way again off the corner. Here they come back out of turn 4. Back down to the start-finish line. Dan West Jr. to the outside. Brightsman will follow. Lowther again, lap truck on the bottom. Multiple laps down, or at least a couple of laps down. Right now, all this happening in front of the battle of the lead as, boy, Dan West Jr. fighting that truck hard to the backstretch going to the 3rd turn.
Yeah, as we go on board here with Dan West Jr. as he's working on Ryan Bloom for the 2nd position. Looks like he's just kind of riding in, trying to save tires, knows it's getting on the pit window when he's got to pit, not trying to press himself, not trying to spin out to where his tires are not there either. So he just looks like, Wesley, he's just trying to ride. And I'm not sure with him and Devin West and Sean Brightsman were battling a while ago. You know, he may have burned up or used up his stuff a little bit too much more than he wanted.
1 caution flag in the early going of the race. Since then, it's been all clean and green. And right now, we're watching Dennis Moore still be the man leading the way. Right there he is with Ryan Bloom behind them. That's 2nd. There's the battle for 3rd and 4th. Team LSRTV battles. Devin West, of course, also Dan West Jr. and Sean Brightsman.
Yes, we see Dan West Jr. trying to get around, Dan West Jr. trying to get around Sean Brightsman. Looks like Brightsman's going to take over the 3rd position. But here comes Dan West Jr. back on the outside, down into 1 and 2, down the backstretch, off of 2, Wesley.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. up to the top of the safer barrier. Looks like son Devin will try to follow the same mimics that his dad does down the back straightaway. They reel back in their teammate Sean Brightsman right now, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's that battle as Brightsman now hugs the bottom of the white line. Up to the top goes Dan West Jr. Slithering back up in front of the double nickel is Brightsman. He'll set his sights now on Bloom for 2nd. That goes on as they work back into the corner into 1.
Yeah, and Dan West Jr. work on the outside. You know, again, saving tires. Whoa, really loose to the center of the corner. So that makes you wonder, is he burned up his stuff a little bit too much? Here, Devin West right behind him. He looks like he's really loose up off the corner through the center.
Everybody holding their line, single file now for the top spot. Is still Dennis Moore, Ryan Bloom, and then there you see Brightsman. He's in that 3rd spot. There's the father-son team. Dan West Jr., Devin West losing ground on Brightsman. Brightsman getting ground on Bloom as they go back into turn 1.
Yeah, then you got Jeff Stab now here with Dylan Huffins in that number 6 machine. This is a battle for, I believe, 7th and 8th. As a single file right now. Snap now looking to the outside, thought about it, said, no, not yet. I'm going to wait right behind him for a little bit. But as they work back into 3, looks like here he comes again, Wesley.
Staying patiently right there in that spot right now as they work another lap around the racetrack. That's Dylan Huffines in the 6th machine. He's in the 7th spot. Jeff Stabdow, obviously, needing to have a good run to advance to the next round of the round of 8. He currently single file behind Huffines, and they work lap 40 back to 1.
Yeah, Stabdow on the outside, trying to get around the 6 machine of Dylan. and just not the momentum you want on the outside. The bottom, like I said, to pass is where you're going to want to be. But, Stabnow looks like he's trying to get around the 6. The 6 trying to throw the draft off a little bit. Wesley, you think of, we say draft. Draft, you go to Talladega, you see draft. You go to Daytona, you see draft. Here, the draft works just like it does there. You got to have the draft. It'll pull you right to him up off the corner if you're got it just right.
Believe it or not, you're even drafted on short tracks as well, like Bristol or Martinsville or Richmond. Same thing, same scenario, and drafting here also on the, of course, intermediate track with the precision banking that is the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Dennis Moore is the man leading. There's the man in second spot, Ryan Bloom. He's got Sean Brightsman methodically inside on the 46 down the bottom, looking to close in on the 25. Not yet as they work their way approaching lap 50 into turn 1.
Yeah, Brightsman trying to get to the back bumper of the 25 machine of Ryan Bloom. And to me, Wesley, it looks like they're just kind of riding right now. Everybody kind of pacing themselves, waiting on the pass. We see, Devin West really loosed it through the center of the corner. Wow, what a save by that number 5 machine as he worked through the center of 1 and 2, Wesley.
Yeah, that was Devin West with a big save right there to keep his drive alive right now, currently in the top 5, as everybody is still kind of single file at the moment. No one jumping out of line with Ryan Bloom. There you see Sean Brightsman. Best battle on the racetrack. It's for the deuce. It's back to 1.
Yep, Brightsman and Bloom. This is second and third. Brightsman sitting third right now. Dennis Moore with a 3-second lead over Ryan Bloom. Team Win Racing 1-2. Team LSRTV 3-4. Win Racing 5. That's your top 5 as they work back out down the front stretch, Wesley. As we see the 39. Oh, got to get to the. Oh, my goodness.
This might draw a caution, possibly. And Bartlett just hit the entrance of those barriers, and he blew an engine. And this is going to make him be forced to take a tow. And while that happens, Bartlett's out. And this is now pit stops coming in on lap 45. Here comes Devin West on pit road.
Yeah, you're going to see 4 tires. So we're going to see maybe not a fast repair, but you're going to see 4 tires and some gas here to get them back to the end. Kevin Smith also on pit road. Wesley, he's got a good pit stall. Number 2 pit stall. Doesn't have anything to worry about. Looks like he's going to get 4 tires, I'm sure, and get right back at it.
Pit stall number 2 again for Kevin Smith. Pit stall 1 for Dennis Moore as Devin West rolls off of pit road. Kevin Smith still on the pit lane. This is not good for Kevin Smith as he is losing surmountable time and maybe might even go a lap down. Here comes more trucks on pit road. As here comes Dan West Jr., a lap behind his son, going to his pit stall now, pit box number 6. Stabnow is in. Kynes in pit road.
See Jeff Stabnow here. It looks like he's taking 4 tires and some fuel, and I'm sure he's going to take a splash and go. And it looks like the 39 truck that hit the pit wall entrance, he's coming out the pits now as we see the 6 of Dylan Huffins. He's coming down pit road as too, Wesley.
Dylan Huffines on pit road. The number 6 now in the top 10. He'll come on pit road. John Ottenbacher on pit road. As right now still Dennis Moore leading the way over Ryan Bloom and Sean Brightsman. Toby Ritter's now up to 4th. Paulison 5th. Those drivers are yet to pit. As I say that, here comes the leader, Dennis Moore on pit road now. This will give the lead back to Ryan Bloom on lap number 47.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Bloom's going to go a few more laps than what Dennis Moore is going to go. Team Win Racing there. And it looks like the 44 is going to come down pit road, get him 4 fresh Goodyears, and then go right back at it as we see John Ottenbacher in the green machine coming off. Then you got, I believe that's BJ Tidrick in the middle of the highlight coming down pit road.
BJ Tidrick on pit road. Here comes now also, couldn't tell which truck that was that came down on the pit lane. All of these guys making pit stops. Tyler Kim is on pit road. I want to say that might be Chris Kynes in the 20. Catman, James Vining.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yep, Vining on pit road. So green flag pit stops underway. And by the way, remember, you got to cycle back on the track on the return road until you hit the back stretch to the blend line right there where that blue cone is. Once they pass that blend line where the cone is, Cody, then they're allowed to pull back up on the racing group.
Yeah, and if you go before that cone, there's a line across the track there. If you go before that line, iRacing will issue you a black flag, and you have to do a pretty much a drive-through penalty, and not what you want when you're already a lap down with Bloom not pitting. So got to be very careful. Got to use the return road. You don't want to slip and overdrive the return road either. As you see, I believe that's Tyler Kemp coming off a pit road there as well.
Yeah, watching all this work again as they close in on lap number 50 when they come back around this time by. There's Johnson and Paulison on the racetrack. That is for fourth and fifth right now as they work down the front straightaway. Green flag pit stops continuing now. Toby Ritter's on pit road. Understanding that Kevin Smith was involved in the incident with the 39 truck of Bartlett, and because of that, Cody Demers, he had to take a little bit more time to get some damage fixed on the 00. That hurts the boss of Win Racing.
Yeah, it also is going to hurt his, I'm sure, his points lead, Wesley. As he come in tonight with the points lead from winning Milwaukee Mile last week, I'm sure that's going to hurt his points lead very, very much. Stephen Paulson on pit road now. Looks like he's going to be taking some gas, maybe 4 tires. Yep, looks like the decks are going up. He's going to be taking 4 tires, getting him some fresh Goodyears, and be rolling right back out. Stephen Paulson, don't believe he's in the playoffs. If you notice across the top of the truck, since we got a race leader coming down pit road.
Yep, here comes now Brian Bloom. Coming down to the pit lane, he'll take service. Johnson is on pit road. Paulison, as we mentioned again, pitting. And Kevin Smith still on pit road. Boy, this is heartbreaking for the 00.
Yeah, definitely not where you want to be. Points leader at that.
Sean Weitzman comes in on pit road. Green flag pit stops after lap number 50. We had 1 caution in the opening laps of the race, and since then it's been a green flag run. And these green flag pit stops, obviously, Cody Demers are going to scatter the trucks around the 1.5 miles here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway on lap 53.
Yeah, it looks like James Vining's going to be our first truck a lap down. Now Lowther. Troy Daggett, somebody that, I don't know too much about. He's out front leading. I'm not sure if he's come down pit road. And then you got Devin West in the 5 machine. He's going to recycle. And he's actually going to come out ahead of Dennis Orr, Wesley, as they work off into 1 and 2. So a great pit strategy for Devin West. As we see Troy Daggett, he's on a 49-lap current stint here with 1 total pit stop.
Troy Daggett rolling the dice. His Toyota, he put it on lap number 4 of the race. And right now he is the man that's the Pied Piper here of the Northwest in that 1-5 Studios entry. So close, Cody, if you remember, coming to winning at Talladega last Wednesday night. What a crazy race that was. But again, when it's all said and done, right now, he is the man leading the way. We'll wonder if he'll probably go about another 10 laps or so. But right now, he's got used tires way behind everybody else. And if they can run him down, they'll bypass him. Right now, he's got about a 2.5-second lead over Devin West as they go back into the corner. Here comes Dennis Moore to battle Devin for that spot.
Yeah, and they're going to have a lap truck there of Dan Lowther. Dennis Moore's going to use him as a pit, try to get around Devin West. Crazy pit strategy there for Devin West to get ahead of Dennis Moore. Pitted, I believe, a couple laps before him, and Dennis Moore has already caught him and got around him. So, great run for the number 44 machine. As we see Troy Daggett, your race leader, coming down pit road.
Troy Daggett thought maybe he could go 10 laps or more. He could only go about 2, and then he pits. So this will give the lead back to Dennis Moore when it cycles back out. The man that led the race before the green flag pit stops puts the truck 44 back to the top spot.
We see Devin West and Dan West Jr. Team LSRTV in the second, third, right behind the number 44 Win Racing. Actually, Wesley, I believe it's Team LSRTV second, third, and fourth, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, it's Team LSRTV second, 8 to the semifinals, if you will, for the playoffs. Right now, we watch Dan West Jr. still trying to lurk his son, but there you see Dylan Huffines now trying to go after Stab now. This is going on for fourth and fifth, correction, as they work their way single file back to the top of the racetrack, working into one. Huffines with a run on the bottom if he can get there. He's on the inside of Stab now. Stab now too high as they work off two.
Yeah, it looks like Dylan got a little loose there on the apron. Slowed up his momentum, trying to get around the 24 of Jeff Stab now, and laying behind them in the weights. Here comes Ryan Bloom. Ryan Bloom with that number 25 machine. Seen him out front earlier, but here comes Dylan back to the outside of the 24 of Jeff Stab now.
And back across the line. Dennis Moore leading the way. There you see now, best battle between Stab now and Huffines. Huffines getting a run on the bottom, trying to make it work on the back straightaway. And they're going to be right there nose to tail as they work again. Side by side, Bloom is running them down also as they work in the corner.
Yeah, Dylan on the bottom. It looks like Dylan's struggling through center of the corner. Looks like he's very loose and losing a lot of momentum. And here comes Bloom. Bloom back down to the inside of the sticks machine as they work off into one. Side by side, door handle to door handle. Bloom going to try to pick off two trucks at one, and he's going to do just that off of two, Wesley.
Father and son right there, second and third, the West family. And you got to think, Cody, what domination. Dan West Jr. has been on a roll lately, obviously on the Wednesday Northwest CLICKIT RV Fixed Setup Series. By the way, their playoffs kick off this Wednesday night at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the world's greatest race course. He, no doubt, is the man with a bullseye on him for the Wednesday series, but definitely a talented man here in that 55. He's a two-time Truck Series champion, back-to-back, working his way off turn 4.
And, you know, Wesley, I got to ask you, sitting there watching the 55 and the 5, father and son, do you ever see them guys race hard? Do they ever, you know, just go all out against each other when they're racing on the track at the same time?
Well, I can tell you this much. The momentum by Team LSRTV down the stretch, moving into the playoffs, not just the West family, Cody, but any of these drivers have got a shot to make a run for the championship. Don't write the check just yet for Win Racing. It seems like all year long it's been a Win Racing Team LSRTV battle, and we're seeing the same thing as the case tonight here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Yeah, and it's just Sean Brightsman, he gets around the 6 machine of Dylan Huffines there. And, you know, I've been doing the Xfinity Series a lot. Carl's been doing the Truck Series, and man, it's about the same way in the Xfinity Series, especially with the playoffs. You got Team LSRTV and Team Win Racing battle out in both series, and you know it's still so tight as far as points wise. You don't know who's going to win the championship just yet.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's one week you think it's going to be Win Racing. The next week, Team LSRTV comes in and does really, really well. There's Dylan Huffines, by the way, currently in the 6th position on the racetrack, 10 seconds back to the leader, Dennis Moore. As you're seeing the gap interval from the leader on back on the scoring pylon. And by the way, Kevin Smith has retired from the race. Dylan Huffines loose out of turn 4. What a save. He was dirt tracking it there for a minute.
Yeah, tough break there for the double saver Kevin Smith. Going into the night points leader. Picked up the points lead last week with his win at Milwaukee. And coming into tonight, hoping for a good run, was running second. And tough break there for the number 00 Kevin Smith.
And by the way, one of the things that we are definitely working on trying to make happen for the championship night is to being able to have all of these drivers on camera, to see them, to hear from them, to get all of their thoughts for the championship run at the end here.
That's going to be
Don't
really
write
cool.
the check just yet. As I mentioned, though, Cody, don't write the check just yet for these guys. It's not over yet.
Oh, yeah, definitely not over yet. Dennis Moore only got about a 2.5-second lead over Dan West Jr. And still anybody's ball game. We've seen Devin West pull some pit strategy and get the lead there. Wesley, got to begin to wonder here. 69 laps of 134, getting down to the nitty-gritty now. And Devin West pulling that pit strategy a little bit to get out ahead of Dennis Moore. You got to begin to wonder, is he trying to figure out how far he can push, how far he can go to stay ahead of Dennis Moore?
Yeah, we'll see all this strategy now as we're working lap number 70 coming up just past the halfway mark of the race, by the way. Dennis Moore leading the way, Dan West Jr., Devin West, Ryan Bloom, Sean Breitzman right now, the top 5. There's Dennis West battling, of course, trying to get around Tyler Kim. Tyler Kim already a lap down as a lap truck finally gets cleared by Devin West. And now Kim wants to try to make a rally back for him on the corner as they work again off 4.
Yeah, and you got to begin to think of Devin West being like, hey, man, you're lap down while you're racing me. I'm trying to get up there to my father and get around him. So, that's just, comes with the game of racing. You got to worry about lap cars. You got to worry about, I always tell everybody, you got to worry about more of what's around you than yourself when it comes to racing, especially at Homestead. Having so many multiple groups to race, so it just comes part of the racing when you see the lap trucks trying to race the lead lap trucks.
And obviously Tyler Kim is a lap down truck. He is the first truck that would get the free pass if a caution was to come out. But honestly, we're looking at close to, 67, 65 laps, Cody Demers, that we haven't had a yellow flag yet.
Yeah, we had the caution with Toby Ritters and Jeff Stabnow, and we've been green ever since lap 5. And got to begin to wonder, are these guys, not going to give them the commentator's curse and say it, but you got to begin to, these guys want that word that we're not going to say, Wesley.
Speaking of Jeff Stabnow and the problems that he had, he's right now back in the top 10 and 7th spot. Best battle on the racetrack going on right now. The Catman, James Vining, trying to stay on the lead lap by Dennis Moore, the leader, reeling him in as they work off the corner. Also, he has all this going on to the back stretch, and looks like he will give up that spot, go a lap down. James Vining will, the 333.
Yeah, James Vining, he's supposed to be sidelined by health issues, if I'm not mistaken, Wesley. And so great job by him to be out here running with these guys and running 73 laps with his health issues. As you see,
he's been having some health issues, but I think that he's trying to, take his mind off of what he's been dealing with personally. And I thought we were going to see him hang up the helmet for at least the rest of the season to recuperate and get better, but that's just not the case. And excuse me, I know we just went a lap down, but here we go with pit stops early. Boy, this is really early. Dylan Huffine's on pit road. I think he's trying to go for an undercut on these guys.
Yeah, well, I was watching him earlier, and it looks like he is done, but I was watching him earlier. He was very loose, Wesley. I mean, he was almost like you said, dirt. We seen him a while ago, dirt tracking through the center of the corner. So I'm wondering if he's fighting a loose truck and he's just like, had enough that I'm done.
Yeah, it sounds like Dylan Huffines has officially retired from the race. Handling woes on, of course, the number 6 machine. Right now we see Kim and West. It's a lap truck on the inside of Devin. He's still racing Devin hard like it's for position, and that's a lap truck, if you will, Cody, going at it.
And that's allowing Sean Breitzman right behind him to catch Devin West. So Devin West probably not too happy with Tyler Kemp, but like I said earlier, it's part of racing. And looks like Sean Breitzman is going to go around Tyler Kemp and on the outside and work his way on trying to catch that number 5. But Tyler Kemp still not giving Brightsman any slack either as they work down the backstretch into 3. Tyler Kemp still on the bottom. Brightsman still on the outside. He's going to clear him, though, here in the middle of 3 and 4 and try to go run down the number 5 of Devin West off of 4.
Yeah, look at that good run he's got right there. It's now Sean Brightsman running down his teammate. 7 seconds back out of the leader, Dennis Moore, by the way. We approach lap number 76 of 134 laps, just about 10 laps to go from the halfway mark of the race. And Team Win Racing right now in the top spot with Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore currently, I just said after 10 laps of halfway, I just said that. Dennis Moore is in the top 5 in the points right now, of course, with 3 wins on the year with Devin West, as we saw Devin West working his way around the racetrack. And he is still battling Tyler Kim. I mean, this lap truck, Cody, is not giving an inch away from the Team LSRTV trucks of Brightsman and West.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating. You got to think of what West is thinking. Devin West is thinking in his head. He's probably because earlier we mentioned draft, and he's got a slipstream there. He's close enough, and it's even breaking Devin West loose off the corner. And Devin West is probably coming over the radio, being like, "Hey, man, you're a lap down truck now. Hey, it's time to quit racing me like you're on the lead lap." And he's got to be frustrating because, like I said, the draft here, it will hurt you. It doesn't help you; it hurts you. It helps the truck behind you. It only hurts you that's in front of him.
If there's any inclination for Tyler Kim, he is that first truck 1 lap down. So if the caution was to come out, he would go back to the lead lap. As right now, Devin West getting passed by Kim as they work the line on lap number 80 next time around here.
And it looks like, Wesley, if I'm looking at timing and scoring right, looks like James Vining is now the first car lap down.
Vining right now sitting in that 13th spot, his Toyota, having a pretty good solid run. We mentioned him earlier a few moments ago with the health problems that he's been having. But looking really good, and I like that new wrap job on that truck as well. Looks really sharp, the red, black, and the white on the 333.
Oh, yeah, and the cool thing about James Vining is he is the only guy with a triple-digit number. You don't ever see really much of a triple-digit number. So to have a 333, is different. And then that is probably one of the best-looking paint schemes I've seen him run all season. So definitely a nice looking truck. Definitely an interesting, thing about him with the 333. Never wonder where he got it from.
There's only one driver that I can think of that has a triple digit also with Vining, and that's the 129 of Russ Lundberg. Russ Lundberg has a 129. Not racing tonight. Sometimes he pops in, but yeah. 333, James Vining on the lead lap in 13th spot. But he is 38 seconds back to the leader of Dennis Moore.
Looks like we may be seeing pit stops coming very soon, Wesley. Looks like a lot of these trucks are starting to get very loose. As we see Brightsman looking to the bottom of the 55 of Dan West Jr. That's for the 3rd position. Teammates.
Another lengthy green flag run back again. Could be settling up in the next 15 laps or less for another scheduled round of green flag pit stops. 29 laps on the stint right now for Sean Brightsman. Remember, Sean Brightsman pitted on lap 53.
Oh, big slip up by Dan West Jr. there.
So if the stint's correct, I could say around lap number 100 or 106, we'll see Brightsman come down pit road. Dennis Moore, he pitted on lap, of course, 47. So it could be any minute now within the next 90 to 95. Lap 90, 95, we'll see one of them peel on, stretching it. And obviously one caution flag to halt this race. so far on lap 85. There's Devin West. Finally, Tyler Kim nowhere in sight. He's running by himself, but he's lost ground to his dad in the one.
Yeah, Devin West looks like he is struggling really bad with a loose truck. Even trying to run the bottom on the very white line, trying to find some grip, trying to stay off that high line. The high line is fast, but it's loose. And with him already struggling with a loose race truck, you're not going to want to run the outside here at Homestead. You're going to want to be on that bottom, try to get as close to that white line as you possibly can, try to use the low line to get off. And it looks like he's going to come down pit road, Wesley, and I'm sure he's going to try to get a set of tires and maybe make some adjustments.
Money stop possibly for Devin West as he comes on pit road, number 5 Chevrolet. First truck in the top 10 to make that round of another scheduled green flag pit stops as he gets ready to hit his pit marks there, Cody.
Yeah, definitely going to see 4 tires here for him, and I'm sure he's probably going to make some wedge adjustments here on this truck. Definitely loose through the corner on a long run, so I'm sure it's not his liking. Looked like earlier on in the race he was struggling with a tight race truck through the center, and now he's struggling with a loose truck. So he's probably going to go with a happy medium here. Looks like he does have some right side damage there as he comes off pit road.
Sean Breitzman pitted on lap 53. Like I said, sometime between lap 90 to 100, we'll see him peel back onto the pit lane. Because right now, Sean Breitzman comfortably in that number 3 spot, his Toyota, for Team LSRTV. And by the way, Win Racing back up to 1 and 2 with Dennis Moore and Ryan Bloom. There's the 3rd place man, Dan West Jr. right behind him. And as we said, Devin West was in 4th, but he came in on pit road and pitted before anyone else, and what could possibly be the money stop of the race possibly for him as well.
Yeah, and I want to point out with Sean Breitzman is just as fast, if not faster, than Dennis Moore on the racetrack right now. So definitely making some ground up. Ryan Bloom right there with him, but looks like Sean Breitzman is one, if not the fastest race truck on the racetrack right now. So definitely a good run right now for the 46 of Sean Breitzman.
Dan West Jr., best lap of the race so far, 33.398 seconds. As Sean Breitzman, 33.434, his best lap so far tonight. And again, green flag pit stops on the horizon as we are approaching lap number 90 next time around here at the stripe.
Yeah, if we look here at their last laps, looks like Dennis Moore was faster than Sean Breitzman, but Sean Breitzman, Wesley, he's just as fast as Dennis Moore, and he's trying to get around the 07 of Dana Rogers. If she's a lap down car. But Breitzman's just as fast as Dennis Moore as we look there at the last laps on your scoreboard, and definitely running down Dennis Moore.
Here comes Vining, peeling onto pit road. Driver in the number 12 spot now. As Breitzman stays on course, he's in 3rd. There's that Tyler Kim truck already a lap down. Devin West on the free pass lap. If the caution was to come out here, Devin West would get the free pass to go back on the lead lap. As right now we see more trucks coming down to pit road. Jeff Stab now, it looks like, has come on to pit lane on lap number 90 as well.
Yeah, looks like he's going to, I'm sure he's going to take 4 tires, and he's probably going to make some adjustments, Wesley. He started up at the 4th after our last set of pit cycles, and then fell back to about 9th. So I'm sure he's going to probably make some adjustments here to come out of pit road and hopefully have a new race truck.
Got to say, what a valiant accomplishment and efforts by both Jeff Stabnow and Toby Ritters for being the one and only caution of the race around lap number 2 and staying the course to still be consistent and do what they need for points. Here comes more green flag pit stops. Lap 91, BJ Tidrick is in. The Miller High Life 72 Ford. He's getting service now.
Yeah, looks like BJ Tidrick's on. Looks like the only trucks out right now are Dan Lowther, Carl Burke, and Kevin Smith. So BJ Tidrick going to take 4 tires, and doesn't look like no wedge adjustments, and going to go out back on the pit, out of the pits.
Here comes Chris Kynes, 20 truck, Mountain Dew machine on pit road. Pretty quiet night for Chris Kynes. Haven't mentioned a lot about him. Just being consistent in the top 10, around the top 10, and ready to see what his truck will be able to do as he works in his Chevrolet for 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to get 4 tires as well. Probably make a few wedge adjustments. Not too sure. Going to try to go back out and hopefully have a new truck. And see the 39, John Ottenbacher coming down pit road. Looks like the 39 may be coming out of pits, but John Ottenbacher coming in. Playoff driver, I believe. And it looks like he's going to be taking 4 tires as well. Looks like Carl Burt, or the 39 machine. Oh, man. Looks like he's going to get heavy impact into the inside pit retaining wall.
Boy,
Leader's coming
Ottenbacher.
down pit road.
Yep, here he comes. I told you, between lap 93 to 95. And here comes Dennis Moore, lap 94 on pit road. Dan West Jr. will follow. So will Brett Johnson, Stephen Paulison. They'll join Dana Rogers and Frank Harris as they're on pit exit. The money stop underway for the 44. CLICKIT RV bomb speed thing for Win Racing. Looking for another win here in the trucks at Homestead-Miami. Needs to have a flawless pit stop. 4 tires, 2 tires on the right, 2 tires on the left. Fill it up with Sunoco gasoline, and he is back down and away. Dan West Jr. now getting ready to peel off pit road. Toby Ritter's in his pit stall. It'll be 4 tires and fuel on the tank for the 23, and they'll make the run to the finish as we approach lap 100, Cody.
Yeah, and I believe it should be the last pit stop of the night for these guys. I'm sure they should be able to make it to the lap 134. So these guys are going to be pushing. Some of these guys, Devin West, I'm sure he's going to be pushing pushing the edge, right on the edge of making it. So definitely got to try to save some tire there. Looks like he's going to try to cycle around. He's going to be ahead of Dennis Moore again, but definitely going to be on a little bit over tires than Dennis Moore. But we're still waiting on Ryan Bloom and Sean Bryceman to come down pit road.
Hey, let's go side by side so you don't miss anything as we're approaching lap 100. We've got to thank our sponsors. The finish of the race right now, it's been a solid green flag run since a caution in the early going of the opening laps. And green flag pit stops for the second time in sequence has Ryan Bloom, Sean Breitzman, Devin West, Dennis Moore, and Troy Daggett, your top 5.
At CLICKIT RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ryan Bloom just exiting pit road as the drivers have now all made the second cycle of green flag pit stops as we approach lap 134 laps to go here in the playoffs race here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Deemers is alongside Charles Wooten in the production box. And right now, again, Dennis Moore. Look at this, flawlessly, Cody, going down pit road in the lead, exiting as the leader after the pit stop cycle around. It'll be, again, Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr. behind his son Devin West, who's now in second. And the run to the finish, by the way, Devin West 2 seconds to Dennis Moore for the lead. Everyone else is 10 seconds or more in the back with 12 trucks on the lead lap.
Yeah, and I thought Devin West would cycle out the leader, but I guess I misjudged there, or Dennis Moore got around him. And while we were under side by side there, Wesley, Ryan Bloom actually missed his pit stop, or missed the pit road, so he had to go around one more time and still pit again. As we see Sean Brightsman getting on the pass there on Dan West Jr. And Sean Brightsman is on a roll right now, Wesley. He is running down second place, cutting down that 10-second gap, and Devin West and Dennis Moore is just extending it on Devin West.
Fastest lap of the race for Ryan, by the way, 187 for Ryan Bloom. He is quickly coming to the front. And right now, still 15 seconds back, but flying to close in on that interval lap after lap to try to shave off half a second or more each time around as we approach 30 laps to go. When they come to the line, Dennis Moore, the leader, Devin West in second, Sean Brightsman third, Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow, your top five.
Yeah, Ryan Bloom definitely calling the mail right now, trying to get back up to the front, trying to get around. Notice, hey, I got the fastest truck on the racetrack right now, and we're 104. And Wesley, I always say, it's better to have the fastest lap on lap 150 than it is to have the fastest lap on lap 34. So definitely shows that he's got a really strong truck, as he's looking to pass Jeff Stabnow for the 5th position. And it looks like he's going to make easy work if we go on board here with him.
Dennis Moore continuing to open up that gap. 5 seconds now on Devin West. Devin right there starts to poke into view. There's Ryan Bloom. Ryan Bloom there on track. He's in the 5th position. 13 seconds now, shaving off that interval to him and Moore. Jeff Sabb now in tow.
You see Brightsman there working off of turn number 2. Dan West Jr. right there behind him. I believe that's James Vining behind him as well. They work down the back stretch in the 3. Nobody around each other. James Vining in that 330 machine. But Devin West, haven't seen him since we went into pit road, and looks like he on that 07 truck at Dan Rogers, and looks like, I believe that's John Altenbacher trying to work on him too. These are 2 lap down trucks. Then Wesley, Devin West just can't get away from the lap trucks here.
Altenbacher. He is on the tail end of the lead lap. He is on the lead lap right now in 11th. Dennis.
3, work to the center, let him drive off in there. And that's how teammates work together there, when one teammate knows, hey, I've got a teammate that's faster. I'm just going to let him go. I'm not going to race him. Go get the race leader. Brightsman's now up to 2nd.
By the way, I was referring to Devin West losing ground on the leader, as right now he has fell back 9.5 seconds on the 5 to the 44. Sean Brightsman now trying to cut that to 8.5 seconds now on Dennis Moore. As you said, Dennis, obviously Devin West given that spot for second up to Sean Brightsman, because you can see the 46, at least between those 2 trucks, is the faster truck, and he tries to cut in on that gap on the 44 with lap 110 on the board this time by.
Yeah, definitely not going to race his teammate. Devin West said, hey, I know I'm struggling right now. And Devin West is actually, I believe his father Dan West Jr. has caught him now. So, and he's going to do the same. He says, hey, I know I'm struggling going around me, and go try to get a win here for Team LSRTV as they work off the 2 down the backstretch.
There is Dan West Jr. and Devin West, father, son, 3rd and 4th. Dennis Moore running away with this thing. Unless something happens, it looks like it's going to be the 44 looking for his 4th win of the year. The only driver that has more wins than him, Ryan Bloom, with 6. Right now, he's in 5th, 12 seconds back to his teammate for Win Racing, Dennis Moore, the leader.
Yeah, definitely a strong showing here for Dennis Moore. Qualified up front, started on the pole, and has pretty much led flag to flag other than pit cycles. And Ryan Bloom, Devin Westman is really struggling. Wesley, I've been watching these guys a long time, and I don't think I've ever seen Devin West struggle like I'm seeing him here. I mean, he just very loose to the center corner. I mean, he's almost at pace speed through the center of the corners. He's struggling so bad and off the pace.
Devin West fighting the clouds now. It's massive cloud cover over the Homestead-Miami Speedway. 20 laps to go when they come to the line. And Dennis Moore, just Monday night driving in his own world. No one could catch the number 44. Breitzman 7 seconds back. There he is with his teammate Annenbacher alongside, who's a lap down. Dennis Moore, honestly, Cody Demers just has to run his race and do exactly what he's doing right now, and he is going to pick up his 4th win of the year. And most importantly, he will join Win Racing's Kevin Smith as winners in the playoffs to advance automatically to the semifinals in the next round next week.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's around Dennis Moore right now. So as long as he stays like he is right now and and keeps his nose clean, yeah, nobody around him. 20 laps to go, coming to 19 to go. He's probably going to catch some 2 trucks up ahead of him. And as long as he can get by them clean slate, I don't think anybody's going to get to him. We have Breitzman's running him down. He's cut it to a 6-second lead, but it's going to be very close if Breitzman gets to him.
The semifinals will consist of 4 rounds. Remember, we will be taking off next Monday night. We are off next Monday night for a reset. We then return on October the 16th, Iowa. October 23rd, Kentucky. October 30th, New Hampshire. November 6th, the final race of the semifinals at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then those 4 drivers will battle it out on November the 13th for the round 30, the championship at Auto Club Speedway. 18 to go, and Dennis Moore looking to enjoy a nice week off, knowing he's in the semifinals with his teammate Kevin Smith as he works off 4:17 at the line.
Yeah, Auto Club being the championship, Wesley, that's going to be an interesting race. It's not, Homestead and Auto Club are 2 totally different tracks, but Auto Club's a very racy track. Homestead being your very racy track. It's going to be some good racing when they go for the championship. And Dennis Moore out front. Nobody around him. Still kind of just out for a Sunday drive in another zip code. And Breitzman still cut that lead back to about a 6.5-second lead. So still trying. And right now, Wesley, I'm sure Breitzman is pushing that truck to its limit, pushing it to everything it's got to try to catch that number 44 to.
This is the 2nd time we've ran at Homestead-Miami Speedway this year. Round number 3 of the year was here at the track. Dennis Moore, by the way, quick statistic, Cody, because I like him, ended up winning that race as well. He likes Homestead-Miami.
Yeah, definitely. If he won round 3 here, definitely a fan favorite here for him to be out front and, just kind of cruising right now. I don't think you could ask for a better night. especially knowing that, hey, if I win tonight, I'm locked in. I can enjoy the week off. I ain't got a race, and I know I'm locked into the round of 8, and can kind of just hold his head high and, you know, move on for win racing.
And to be honest with you, that's exactly what he's doing. Pick away. Thanks everybody for joining us and tuning in. 15 to go now. Hey, how about Johnson? Let's give some props to Brett Johnson. Cody Deemers, a good solid run for the number 7 tonight. I know he's not set the world on fire as far as being up in the front, but he has been consistent, and that'll be a solid top 10 finish if he can hang on to the 7.
Oh, yeah, definitely a good showing for him tonight. Haven't talked much about him. Great job tonight, and I want to give him a good shout-out for last Wednesday night, racing the race that we never thought was going to end, Wesley. He was out front and running second the majority of the race, and then the big one happened. So good run for him tonight here at Homestead, and great run for him last Wednesday night at Talladega.
Right there, just sitting patiently in that number 9 position. There's your best battle on the track, is what we're being told by our producers in our ear with Toby Ritters and Brett Johnson. And Cody, it ain't much of a battle.
No, not at all. I do have to give a props to Toby Ritters, Wesley. Even Jeff Stabnow and Toby Ritters wrecked out, brought up the only caution of the race tonight. 5 laps into it, and Stabnow's up to 6, and Toby Ritters is up to 8. So great props by them to rebound off that, because some people, they just give up. They're like, oh man, I wrecked. I've got to go to the back. I've got to fight my way back to the front. I'm done. I've had enough. Good shot. Props to them for not giving up. And now they're both in the top 10, and Stabnow's trying to work on the top 5.
Ready to bring this one to the finish. Dennis Moore, Sean Brightsman, Ryan Bloom, Dan West Jr., and Devin West. Right now, the top 5. Jeff Stabnow, BJ Tidrick, Toby Ritters, Brett Johnson, and Stephen Paulus in the top 10. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification on CRN, the Community Radio Network. This is the playoffs of the Northwest Racing Series.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Dennis Moore looking to win at Homestead-Miami again, as he did in the earlier regular season in round number 3 of the year. He is dominating over Team LSRTV's 7-8 second lead on Sean Brightsman. 10 seconds back his teammate Ryan Bloom. Dan West Jr. back 13 seconds. Devin West 19 seconds back to the leader, Dennis Moore. Welcome back to coverage with 10 to go at Homestead-Miami Speedway. I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Deemers filling in for Terry Radford as he lost his voice calling North Wilkesboro Speedway over the weekend. Charles Wooten is in the production chair. And Cody, a very calm race. One caution. That was it. Maybe a scare or two with Brightsman, or maybe, Dan Lowther having a couple of spins or smacking the wall. But no yellow flag was thrown. One yellow flag, now in single digits, and it's Dennis Moore's race to lose as he is on the road to the semifinals.
Yeah, and, Devin West even, bringing some big-time scares there as he was fighting the racetrack early on. But, yeah, Dennis Moore out front, 7 seconds. It's his race to lose. It's kind of like, hey, if I make one mistake, Brightsman's, 7 seconds. You think, 7 seconds is a lot. It's really not a lot if Dennis Moore makes one mistake. If it's get loose up off the corner, get loose to the center of the corner, all it takes is one mistake. Other than that, Dennis Moore is looking to lock himself into the round of 8.
Being patient, being consistent, those are the keys to not just winning, but making the run for a championship battle berth and be in your favor. There's another look high above with Ryan Bloom. Aerial coverage always presented by LiveSimRacing.com. Bloom in that third spot, 10 seconds back. And Dennis Moore still on a clinic. 2 rounds of green flag pit stops. Totally strategy. On the year, by the way, Cody Deemer's at 6. He knows he's going to the semifinals regardless of what happens tonight. A flawless drive to be consistent for the 25.
Oh, yeah, definitely a flawless drive. Definitely working his way. I mean, even missing pit road on his pit stop, having to go back around, losing a lot of time, and still coming back up to third place is very, very strong run for Ryan Bloom. I also want to give a big props to B-Day Tidrick. B-Day Tidrick come back from 2 laps down up to the 7th position. We haven't really talked about him much, Wesley, tonight. He's looking for a good, strong run here as he has worked his way up into the top 10. Toby Ritters, Jeff Stabnow, Brett Johnson, Steve Paulison, all people we really haven't talked about tonight running from the top 10.
Tedrick, as you mentioned, solid run for him in 7th, though 30 seconds back. Fastest lap of the race, 33.187, set by Ryan Bloom.
That's moving, Wesley. That's a really, really fast lap around this racetrack, believe it or not.
And he's in 3rd. Just not enough to run down his teammate. There's Ryan Bloom, who we were just talking about. Now let's pick back up Dennis Moore on the home stretch as he crosses the line. 3 laps to go. Working down the backstretch here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Remember, we will take off next Monday night. Iowa Speedway, the opening round of the semifinal playoffs. And remember, if you win the semifinals, that will punch your ticket to Auto Club to run for the championship. And Iowa Speedway in the news of NASCAR as we approach 2 laps to go. Cody Deemers, it was announced that the NASCAR Cup Series will be running at Iowa Speedway's 7/8 mile for the first time ever in 2024.
That's going to be very interesting as the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series have gone there in the years past. But the Cup cars and ARCA Series as well. The Cup Series going there, that's going to be a crazy racing. I'm sure the Cup cars is going to be like the Xfinity race. You're going to see them on the high side, the bottom. You know, it's another multi-group racetrack as it comes to the white flag.
White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Dennis Moore battling alongside Toby Ritters to put Clifford a lap down. 7 trucks on the lead lap as Ritters just got bypassed by his teammate Dennis Moore. He won here back in round number 3 of the regular season. He will advance to the semifinals with his teammate Kevin Smith, who won last week at the Milwaukee Mile. Domination for Win Racing's Dennis Moore, win for the year in the 44 at Homestead.
And he sweeps Homestead.
He does. For the year. Sean Breitzman, 2nd, 10.19 seconds back to Dennis Moore. He just crossed the line, Cody. Wow.
Wow, he's way back. You see Kobe Ritters there giving what Wesley calls it a Northwest high five to the back bumper of Dennis Moore. So
that wasn't the high five salute, buddy. It's forthcoming. That was just a little salute bump. Here comes your Northwest high five salute is on deck here. Any minute now.
Craziest thing you ever
Let the
seen.
celebration begin. Here you go. He just stands and said, I'm waiting for the taking. Who's going to be brave enough to bonsai me? Yep, here we go.
There it is. Kevin
Smith. Well, I guess he didn't go out of the race. He just was, out of contention for the race. Toby Ritters, that's all Team Win Racing right there. Kevin Smith, Toby Ritters, Ryan Bloom, Dennis Moore, all Win Racing guys. Somebody's going to come in and bring in a kill shot. Oh, Dead West Jr. with a side swipe. You got to love it. The LSRTV high five salute.
You got to be going to wonder too, Wesley. Did Kevin Smith, oh my goodness. What a wow. You got to begin to wonder too, Wesley, did Kevin Smith, did he back out of the race because he knows he's locked in and he knew Dennis Moore's teammate was going to, was in contention to win?
Oh, boy. I don't know. Obviously.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow. Ritters and Ottenbacher putting
Welcome to
Dennis
the Northwest
Moore in the blender. That's right. The Northwest high five salute. Here's a look at the results here tonight from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Dennis Moore on to the semifinals with his teammate in the Balsa Win Racing, Kevin Smith. After next week off, they'll go to Iowa Speedway. Those two drivers advance. We'll find out the points tally of everyone else to see who the 8 drivers are that will be battling for the semifinals in the round of 8 after the round of 12 tonight finale. Dennis Moore is the winner. Sean Brightsman second. Ryan Bloom is third. Dane West Jr. fourth. Devin West is fifth. Jeff Stabnow sixth. BJ Tidrick with a solid run in seventh. 7 trucks on the lead lap. Toby Ritters went a lap down at the checkered flag on the white flag lap by his teammate Dennis Moore. He'll finish 8th. Brett Johnson 9th. Stephen Paulus and Cody Deemers your top 10.
Yeah, and coming home 11th is going to be John Ottenbacher. James Vining comes home 12th. And the start, Tyler Kim 2 laps down in 13th. 3 laps down is going to be Chris Kynes in 14th. Dana Rogers in 15th. Frank Harris comes home 16th. 3 laps down. Stephen Bartlett comes home 5 laps down in 17th. Tori Daggett 37 laps down home in 18th. Dylan Huffnance in 63 laps down in 19th. And Dan Lowther comes home 20th in 69, Wesley.
And by the way, 1 caution. That was it. Let's take a look at the Virginia 811 call before you dig a caution summary. 1. That's it. 1 yellow flag to halt things here tonight at the, of course, virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. Win Racing getting it done again. Of course, Kevin Smith winning at Milwaukee Mile. And now Dennis Moore sweeping Homestead-Miami Speedway, as colleague Cody said, winning back on week number 3. And the semifinals await after a week off next Monday. Coming up, it's the Press Box Motorsports Podcast post-race update. We'll grab the top 3. We'll wrap things up here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Stay with us. Win Racing's Dennis Moore, win number 4 of the year. The playoffs roll on. Welcome back to coverage of the Northwest playoffs presented by CLICKIT RV for the trucks. I'm Wesley Outland, Cody Deemers alongside. This is the Press Box Motorsports Podcast post-race wrap-up, and we'll grab the top 3. Third place, man, real quickly. Ryan Bloom, another solid run for Win Racing. Obviously, you've got the most wins of anybody this year at 6. Just being consistent, if you will, to go on to the semifinals. Your take of Homestead tonight.
Well, I knew once Dennis got the pole, it was pretty much over. He's really good here. It's like one of his best tracks, and he's just clean air is definitely king here. I knew I was toast when I got in traffic on that first stint. It was really tight, and from there he just built the lead. But he's awesome here, so congrats to him. It's cool to get all 3 of us to get a first round win. So pretty happy about that.
Yeah, so it looked like a lot of you guys were struggling on the long runs with either tight or being loose. Did that affect you any on coming home third?
I was tight the first stint, and then it seemed to kind of grip up after that. I think I made a small adjustment and kind of loosened up a little bit, but it was good after that. The problem is there was no cautions really to close that gap, and I played the long strategy, kind of running my fuel out, and I was just trying to get Sean there at the end. I missed my pit road entry there on my last pit stop, so I was just giving it all I had, really, just hot lapping to try to get as far up as I could. But no, overall we had a really good set. I would say just a little tight to begin with, but Dennis did a great job and took care of his stuff, and when he's out front like that, it's really hard to beat him.
Ryan Bloom, the points have just updated, my friend, and you are going to be the #1 seed going into the semifinals at Iowa. What you attest to that?
Just fast setups, good teammates, and just being consistent, not making a lot of mistakes. Yeah, really just good setups, to be honest. And I'm really looking forward to these next round of tracks. I think they'll be a lot of fun. Kind of a mix of some short tracks and intermediate. So, yeah, looking forward to that and getting going on those.
All right, buddy. Go ahead and thank your sponsors.
Yeah, I just want to thank CLICKIT RV. Really happy to have them on board for the series and on our team this year. Anyone looking for a motorhome or RV, please check them out at CLICKITRV.com. And just thank you guys, LSRTV. Great job, great broadcasting. I love going back and watching that. Let's kind of see what happens during the race. It's always good to see. And then thank Jeff and Sean for the work they do and putting this on, and all the admins.
On to Iowa. Thanks a lot. Ryan Bloom again. He'll settle for the #3 position in the race tonight. He'll be in the #1 spot as we move into the semifinal round of the round of 8, beginning in 2 weeks. Not this week, but coming up at the following week at the, of course, Iowa Speedway. Let's go to the runner-up of the race, Sean Brightsman. Sean, man, some bold strategy I think you were trying to work on in the early going. Were you efforting and hoping for a caution flag that just would never come, and that really messed up the strategy there? But you got around your teammates, at least in the end, to get a runner-up spot.
Yeah, overall, good night for the Price Fatigue Toyota Tundra. Really just kind of off pace compared to the Win Racing guys, and Dennis, as Ryan said, he's always fast here. So really trying to just off sequence him some, so maybe we could trap him lap down or at least towards the back. So that's really the only point to stay out.
Yeah, so I was, in the race earlier on, I was saying, it looked like you were a lot faster than your teammates. Do you think your teammates were kind of just letting you go and knowing you were faster, hoping you could catch Dennis there at the end?
I don't really know. I think we just we all had different lines we were running, and I seemed to be wearing the tires a little less, so I just ended up being a little faster over the run and kind of taking care of it at the start of the run and all that. But I don't know, man. They worked pretty hard this week to kind of have a good setup, and we just kind of seemed like we were out to lunch a little bit.
Sean, you've been a former champion of the Northwest Series. I got to ask you this question. What's the semifinals going to be like to determine who goes to the championship 6? Or 4?
Well, I mean, we got some good tracks. We got Iowa, Kentucky, New Hampshire, and Vegas. Vegas is going to be probably a slugfest. Same thing with Kentucky. And to be fair, if we don't bring our A game and work as hard, if not harder, than the Win Racing group, there's a good chance they're gonna get 3 out of 4 guys in the playoffs. So we got to put in some time and make sure we have something to compete with these guys.
All right, buddy. Second place. Go ahead and thank your sponsors. And by the way, unofficially, I can tell you will advance into the semifinals, obviously, with 3 wins on the year, or 2 wins on the year.
Thanks, Wesley. Yeah, so to thank Bright's Boutique, CLICKIT RV for sponsoring the series for the Northwest Trucks and the Fix Series, LSRTV, Swag Golf, Blenders Eyewear, Central Welding Supply, everybody at the Northwest Racing Series, as well as Team LSRTV. Thanks, guys.
Here's the thoughts of Sean Brightsman. Again, he will advance into the semifinals. We're going to unveil the elite, the 8 drivers from the round of 12 that will advance here in just a moment. But first, let's go to Victory Lane. Win Racing, Dennis Moore. He won back in round 3 of the season. He wins tonight. Dennis, you just love this place, man. Congratulations to you on a dominating run.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite tracks, this Nashville and Iowa. Oddly enough, this next track, that's one of my favorites. But like Ryan said, it doesn't matter if either one of us get the pole, they're going to win the race, because it's so hard to pass those dirty air. And our setups are almost exactly the same. We're the same speed, so we're like battling for poles at this point, trying to see who's going to stay out front.
Well, Dennis, you swept both Homestead in round 3, and you won here tonight. What does it mean to you going into the round of 8, knowing you swept both Homestead?
Yeah, that's great. It's been a while since I won. I don't think I've won since August. So, yeah, I'm excited. The momentum's going the right way. Got some good tracks coming up, and it should be a fun round and battle out with the LSRTV guys. I think they got 3 or 4 in. We got 4 in, so it's gonna be interesting.
I'll tell you what, Sean, we'll segue this. Dennis, into thanking your sponsors as well. When is running with your teammates go out the window and you've got to race them to make a run for a win or a championship on your own given right?
I don't know. We work so hard on these sets together, and I think it would take away from all of us if we didn't work together. I mean, the ultimate goal for all of us is for one of us to win the championship. So I think we'll run together and build setups together until the very last week. When it comes down to the race, if it's the last lap and I got a chance to put Ryan in the wall, it's probably going to happen to win the championship. But I think he would say the same thing.
Well, buddy, as you said, it is Win Racing and Team LSRTV for the Championship 8. We'll unveil that in a minute. But before we do, buddy, thank your sponsors. Congrats again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. First and foremost, CLICKIT RV. I think Kevin's got a sale going on at his lot this weekend for 10 days, so get up there and check him out. Bomb Speed Setup Shop, everybody with the Northwest Racing Series, especially the admins, Sean and Jeff, and then you guys with LSRTV.
Again, win number, of course, 4 this year for the driver of Dennis Moore in the number 44. So listen, John Odenbacher, Dan Lowther, Christopher White, and Stephen O'Hare have been eliminated from contention to the next round of the round of 8 from the round of 12. It is going to be Cody Deemers and all LSRTV Win Racing battle for the semifinals. Every one of the drivers in the top 8 are Win Racing LSRTV drivers. They include number 1 seed, as I aforementioned, Ryan Bloom, a 4-point lead over Dennis Moore, his teammate, and winner tonight. Dan West Jr. is the number 3 seed, 10 points back. Kevin Smith, the number 4 seed, winner at Milwaukee Mile, 19 points back. Then it is Devin West, Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow, and Toby Ritters. 8 drivers that will go on to the semifinals beginning in 2 weeks. Cody, at Iowa, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Everybody likes Clifford, man. I like Clifford. I'm glad he made it into the round of 8. Congratulations to all them other guys for making it. But Toby Ritters, man, I know he's been fighting. I know he's been, we'll have an off week, we'll have a good week, we'll have an off week, we'll have a good week. So good job for him to make the round of 8.
And you got to give props also to not only Toby Ritters, but also Jeff Stabnow for the problems that they had. They were in positions number 7 and 8 in the points. They needed to try to find a way to be consistent in the race. They did that to advance into the semifinals for sure. So listen, again, Dennis Moore, winner tonight at Homestead-Miami. We've unveiled the 8 drivers that will battle it out beginning in 2 weeks. Not this Monday. Next Monday we take off for a reset for the semifinals. 4 rounds to determine who's going to the Championship 4 finale at Auto Club. Of course, this is always going to be exciting, as again, another 4 drivers will be eliminated when it is all said and done. Cody Deemers, your final thoughts of tonight's race. Always fun working with you, buddy.
Yeah, man, it's fun working with you as well, and man, what a crazy race! I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of cheering for Devin West or Dan West Jr. I knew Dennis Moore probably nobody had nothing for him, but I was kind of cheering for Dan West Jr. or Devin West. But other than that, great race, domination, I would say, by Dennis Moore, and hopefully can get back up in here and do one of the round of 8s with you.
Sheer domination by the driver of the 44 for Win Racing, of course, in that machine getting his 4th win on the year. All right, well, we'll see you in a week at Iowa Speedway after we take off. Next week, it's in 2 weeks, and we'll find out who will be between Team LSRTV or Win Racing, the Final 4. This has been coverage of the Northwest Truck Series CLICKIT RV Playoffs here on the Community Radio Network and iRacing on LSRTV. Thanks again to, of course, everybody at, of course, Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, all of our great staff. Terry Radford, hopefully he gets his voice back and he'll be back with us next Monday. For Cody Deemers, this is Wesley Outland. Good night. Have a great one. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Iowa for the playoffs and the run to the championship for 2023's Northwest Racing Series trucks.